Master these 5 tips to catch big Crucian carp, that's all you need. Fellow wild fishing enthusiasts must have noticed that during this period of high temperature weather, big Crucian carp are extremely hard to catch, often resulting in no bites at all. Is it because the fish have left the bottom due to rising weather and water temperatures, or have the big Crucian carp stopped feeding in deep waters? The following content will surely bring a groundbreaking insight to those who love wild Crucian carp fishing, no exaggeration. 1. Choose the right fishing time. Let me make it clear, big Crucian carp can absolutely be caught during this period. If you're having poor catches or getting no bites, it's definitely closely related to the timing and weather you choose for your fishing trips. As we all know, wild big Crucian carp are cold tolerant but not heat resistant, and they are also highly alert. So when selecting your fishing time, try to avoid the hot midday hours and opt for the early morning window instead. In the morning, the water temperature is consistent between the upper and lower layers, the dissolved oxygen in the water is high, the shore is quiet, there are more microorganisms in the water, and the water temperature is cool. If you go fishing for big Crucian carp during this time, the results will surely be excellent. 2 tips for selecting fishing spots and water depth. We all know that fishing spots and water depth affect our catches, especially in summer when trying to catch highly alert big Crucian carp. This becomes even more important. Here's a suggestion: the fishing spots you choose during this period should be different from those in the previous period. For example, when fishing in large reservoirs, besides seizing the early morning window, you can choose spots where large and small water areas meet, such as the inner bends. If you're fishing in rivers or streams, the junctions of large and small water areas, the intersections of main rivers and tributary inlets, and areas under bridges are all excellent spots. When fishing for big Crucian carp, if you find docked boats, obstacles along the shore, fallen reeds in the water, or water peanut plants, these spots should be your top choices. When fishing in summer, the selection of water depth must be based on local water conditions. For instance, when fishing in clear mountain reservoirs, you can fish a bit deeper, up to 2 meters, 3 meters, or even 4 meters. If fishing in rivers or ponds that are not very deep and have murky, fertile water, where dissolved oxygen levels are low, you can fish a bit shallower, such as 80 centimeters, 1 meter, or 2 meters. Not only can you catch big Crucian carp in such places, but because the water temperature is consistent between layers and the dissolved oxygen is higher, fishing in sidewinds or downwind spots will yield great results. 3 notes on baiting. The number of fish lured into your bait area determines how many fish you can catch in a day, so how to bait and choose bait is particularly important. When it comes to baiting, we all know that big Crucian carp are highly alert. When arriving at a natural water area, besides keeping quiet, if you plan to fish for a long time, you can properly set up a heavy bait bed. For casual fishing trips with short durations, such as fishing for a few hours or half a day, and if the water depth is not very deep, it's recommended that you try not to set up a separate bait bed. Instead, use regular commercial rubbed bait, add some wine-soaked rice or small particles, rub a few hooks worth of bait, and while finding the bottom, a bait area will naturally form. In terms of bait selection, you must flexibly adjust according to the actual local water conditions and fish activity. For example, in waters with many small you can use rubbed bait with a natural flavor, if there are not many small during the fishing window, loose explosion bait will work extremely well. If you want to catch large-sized local Crucian carp and there are heavy bait areas around your fishing spot, earthworms are definitely the first choice. For tackle matching. Here's a guide for matching rods, line sets, and hooks. After all, our target fish are medium and small-sized bottom-dwelling big Crucian carp. At this time, it's not recommended to use overly stiff rods. A 28-action all-purpose comprehensive rod is the first choice. It provides a good feel when catching small fish, and its backbone can handle occasional catches of medium and small-sized mixed fish weighing 1 to even 3 catties. Moreover, because the rod is not overly stiff, you'll have a great feel when playing and hooking fish. At this time, you can match the main line between 1.0 and 2.0, the subline between 0.8 and 1.2, and pair them with size 4 to 6 sleeve hooks, which will lead to excellent fishing results. 5. How to adjust the float better. Finally, we come to the part that anglers are most concerned about. How many meshes should you adjust and fish at to get better results when catching big Crucian carp? You must know that big Crucian carp are naturally cautious, and in summer, as the water temperature rises, the fish's activity increases. At this time, you can't adjust the float as you did in the previous period, using short sublines and a neither sensitive nor blunt float setting. Here's a suggestion: during this period, if you use a small round tip float, adjust it to 2 meshes with hooks and fish at 2 to 3 meshes, and the bite signals will be very clear. If due to strong winds, some anglers have poor eyesight and are fishing downwind with surface glare, and have to choose a float with a thickened tip, adjust it to the thickened tip part with hooks and let the fishing meshes be higher than the adjusted meshes, and the bite signals will definitely be excellent. Author profile: I'm a fishing enthusiast and self-media blogger who loves sharing tips. Follow me to exchange fishing skills and discuss the little details of wild fishing. Give a like, save this, and follow for more updates. Never miss a thing.